I am Salvador Blanco. I have been in the drinks industry for the last 20 years. I have been working for Moet Hennessy. I have worked for Berry Brothers and Rat in the United Kingdom, and always related into sales in international markets. Last 5 years I have spent, and I joined a company called Samson and Surrey. This is a family picture, meet the family. I'm just going to go back where I was coming from, but basically this is the portfolio, the Samson and Surrey portfolio. From our distilleries to more than 30 countries in the world, in the case of Tequila Ocho. And what I want to share with you now is the strategy and the way we are facing the growth and the base we have used and the method we have used in order to develop our presence in international markets. This is based in a lot of preparation. This is based in evaluating the real alternatives available, and this is also based on perseverance and consistency. I just use that picture because at the end of the day, this means working out. You need to get ready for the workout, you need to work out, and you need to finish the workout and rest. It's the same process. If you want to get better, you need to work out on anything you do. And this is the process and this is the method we are following. How we are doing that? The first part is preparation. I think it's very important to understand where are you heading to. The way we have done it is that we have done detailed market research of the European markets. There is information available. You need to look for that information, and you need to spend a lot of time looking for that information, because you cannot just stay on the first tier or the first level of information. You need to deep dive into that. I'm going to use the Gin in Europe example in order to give you some information about why those markets seem very similar and are very different at the same time. We need to categorize and size those markets and segments. We need to understand what are the relevant adjacent categories. Think about me selling American whiskey in European markets, which is a market that is mostly dominated by single malt whiskey. If the only thing I am doing is thinking about what is the size of the American whiskey market in Europe, the potential is very reduced. But if I understand that potentially I will be able to capture other potentials and other consumers from categories that are adjacent to it, very likely single malt whiskey, this is going to expand the potential of the markets. So it's not only your category, but it's the categories that can be also interesting next to it. Let's not think about products, but let's also think about consumption moments, and let's think about flavors. This is another way to think about it. We were having a conversation yesterday about our French single malt whiskey, and we were just saying, this might be a good strategy to develop this in the aperitivo world. Suddenly you are not using a typical consumption moment of whiskey, you are just changing it and going into a consumption moment that could generate interest for your specific brand, for your specific spirit. What is the importance of the off-trade versus the on-trade? Because it's important also to understand, and you will need to think about what are the skills of your importer, your distributor, your partner in the market, and finally the prices of the competitive set. Just using the example of the case study, I'm just the numbers you can see here in the screen. So when thinking about Europe and when thinking about the key markets, we see that consumption in the top markets in the European region, according to the International Wines and Spirits record, it's approximately 19 million cases. Out of that, 6 million is in UK, 5 million is in Spain, and 1 million is in Italy. So if I'm just following a very quick analysis, I would say, of course, what I need to do is I need to go to the United Kingdom, I need to go to Spain, because this is where the biggest fish are. I'm going to fish where the fish are. But important and relevant data. Just thinking and just going into the next level and just using those numbers. It's basically, in the Italian and German market, according to the IWSR, 45% of the category, it's premium and above. But if we look at the United Kingdom, only 22% of the category is premium and above. And if we look into Spain, only 9% is premium and above. So even if those numbers are really interesting, just the 9% of these 5 million cases, it might be less relevant and less interesting than other numbers that you can see in that screen. So it's very important that you understand, first of all, the size of the market, but go as deep as possible into that analysis using potentially some of these items I'm sharing. The second part is the partner. I think that even if the market is interesting, if we don't find the right partner, it's going to be very difficult to succeed in that market. Why? Because unfortunately, if this partner is not able to deliver according to what you need, it's going to make things very difficult. The market will be there, but this partner might not be able to access this market. So it's important to also use a systematic approach for that partner. How we do it? We first of all identify the potential partners, another research part. Second, we create a profile of what do we need to succeed in those markets, what this partner needs to help us with. And this is very important. We do that in order to avoid internal discussions like, I like this partner or I don't like this partner. We have a method and we try to measure everything. It has to be quantitative. And it's not only qualitative, it has to be quantitative. So we have a model, we follow that, and we measure according to what we think is important, we measure those partners. Things like, does this partner have a premium portfolio? Does this partner has national coverage and especially has a presence with a team in the key cities? Does this partner have a well-trained sales force? Or does this partner has a relevant presence in the on-trade because of the team and because of the brands? Or finally, are they able to build brands, or they are just big partners that will help us in order to get the distribution, but not really working on the brand building? These are things that we are trying to measure, and we are trying to understand if they are going to help us, and they are able to help us on that because we believe they are relevant. Maybe these items are not relevant for when you think about markets and partners, but what I recommend is to just make sure that you are making that in order to have take away all the qualitative evaluation from at the start, and just use qualitative and just put that part of more emotional at the very end, but be able to measure those partners by doing that. We rank them. And another very important thing is when we go to a market that we believe it's a relevant market for us, we don't go just with our portfolio and just with a portfolio presentation. We use all the information we have gathered before in order to make a proposal and just project what do we think and what can we add as with our portfolio in their business. Because at the end of the day, it's all about numbers. So if you go with to a partner and you say that this is the market, we believe that we can capture this percentage of the market, with this margin it will generate that business, he will be able to, or these partners, they will be able to convert it into numericals and say, oh, I can fund another sales person in my team, or I am able to decrease the overhead, the cost of overhead per case sold, or I am able to do many things. So we are again converting that into numbers and making it relevant for them. It's not just about our brands. Here are my brands, they are very nice. It's about making sure that we are able to explain them our objectives, and we are able to explain them what can we add from a numerical point of view into their business. But this is just the beginning. Why? Because it's about perseverance and consistency. We have a say in the spirits world that it takes 20 years for an overnight success. And I really believe in that. I have seen that in different occasions and different stages of my life. Something that you think that happened overnight, you just dig into and you see that we started to work with this brand 10 years ago, and suddenly things have accelerated over the last 3 years. But then everybody remembers the last 3 years, but the reality is that things started 10 years ago. So this is very important. Things do not happen overnight. So if you are sure you are doing the right thing, if you are sure you are with the right partner, be consistent and persevere. Also very important, we have found a partner. This partner is an expert in the market, but they are not experts in the brand. They need your help. They need your help in order to understand how to promote, how to sell this brand in the market. So that means that the first thing you need to do is you need to go to this market with a lot of experience with the brand, with your own brand, in your own market, in the home market. Because the first question we always get when we start with new partners is, what has worked in your markets? What are the success stories that you can share with us? It's important to have that. So do not rush into getting international markets into the plan. It's important to have an experience in the local market, because not only the local market, but also because of the deep knowledge and learning you will have about your brand in the home market. This is also very important because it will help you to share that experience. You need to work on a launch plan with your partner. You need to agree the strategy, you need to agree the timings, you need to agree the objectives, you need to align expectations at the end of the day. Also very important to avoid conversations like, we are doing very well, and you answering, I don't agree, you are doing very bad. So if there is a number, if there is an objective, it's much easier and the conversation will be much more productive on that sense. So it's important, it's a difficult conversation, but I would also recommend to have this type of conversations with your partners in the market. You need to do brand trainings. You need to do brand trainings to the sales team. You need to do brand trainings to during the pre-launch to the key stakeholders. They need to understand about the brand. They need to listen about the brand. If you are the founder, you will be able to explain about your story. You will be able to explain about your experience with the brand. If you are part of the team, you will also be able to explain about what is your experience, or even talk about what the founder, what's the story of behind the brand. This is very important because what we are doing is we are giving resources, we are giving tools to the sales teams to go into the market in order to start to promote that brand. Market visits. It's important. Why? What are market visits important? Spend as much time in the market. It's not only important because of the fact that you are going to visit 1, 2, 3, 5 clients, customers in a day. It's because you are going to spend 1, 2, or 3 days with a salesperson or with a marketing person that will be listening about your brand and about the story during the whole day. This will help them to understand the brand. This will help them to ask questions so that they feel much more stronger when the next day you are leaving and they will remain in the market selling the brand. This is also very important. Don't think about, I have visited 5 customers or 25 customers. Think about, I have spent a whole day or a whole 2 days with a sales team that every single day will be promoting my spirit in this market. I think this is very important, and I would use that perspective better than just thinking, I have visited 10 customers in this city, now I am a city expert. No, we are not city experts. We know about the brand, we start to learn about the market, they are the experts, and we need to help them to promote the brand. And then the same thing, do follow-up calls. Why? Because even if we think that the strategy is well done and it's well executed, it will need adjustments, it will need follow-up. It's all about test, refine, and roll out. If resources are limited, let's make sure that we follow that execution from the very beginning, and we make very clear milestones and very clear points during the stage, during that time, in order to make sure that we are not overspending in something that is not generating either brand awareness or sales, or we are not underspending in something that could be generating brand awareness or sales. So overall, the European markets are very, very, very different, even if they look similar. We just need to make sure that in order to increase the success chances, we concentrate our efforts in identifying and targeting the right markets with the right partner and consistently apply the right strategy. Thank you very much.